All right, so today I wanted to talk about something that I just don't understand. You know, I don't get how anyone can just settle for a shit partner, a shit friend. I just don't get it. You know, why do people put up with passive-aggressive, shitty people? You know, I guess the partner thing, like the romantic partner, because this isn't just to romantic partners, it's also for platonic friendships as well. And I just don't understand it, man. They're like, oh, just settle for whatever, you know, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Because, funny story, recently, there was a situation where I overheard a conversation where apparently drinking one beer means, on a weekday, by the way, one beer, the keyword being one, means that you're an alcoholic. Now, mind you, the people I heard this from, they were obviously a partner. They're obviously a couple. And I'm just sitting here thinking, and it wasn't like said directly. It was more of like, oh, well, my trauma, man, I've been through it so many times. And then they get the fucking definition wrong, man. And the guy's like, oh, yes, queen. I will be subservient to you and to handle your bullshit. And you're my master now. You're my master now. That's pathetic to me. Like, you don't have to tolerate that, man. Like, stupid. First of all, they're implying that you're becoming an alcoholic because you enjoyed yourself. I don't know what else to tell you. And this doesn't just go for us men. It goes for women too. Like, guys bitching, oh, you had one sip of wine or one glass of wine. You're an alcoholic. It's on a weekday. You know, it's fucking stupid. Like, that doesn't mean you're a fucking alcoholic. You know, you didn't finish off 2 bottles of wine. You didn't finish off a fucking case of beer. So why in the fuck would you put up with that? Like, if they can't come out and say, yeah, I think you're becoming an alcoholic, you know, and then you have like a discussion about it or whatever the fuck, then I don't understand. Like, that to me is just being so passive-aggressive and honestly a coward, because you can't fucking be upfront about it. You know, there are some people, man, and don't get that confused. There are some people that aren't worth telling the truth to, because if they don't get it, they don't fucking get it. But people, man, they'll settle for whatever the fuck these days. They'll settle for, and I'm speaking from personal experience, I'm more than likely wrong. I'm willing to admit this. There are couples out there that are happy, fulfilled, and that genuinely love each other. And there are friendships, too, that are genuinely fulfilling. But why would you settle, in my opinion, for fucking shitty people that clearly have traumas they've never worked through or coped with or learned how to cope with healthily? Because let's be real, you don't move on. You don't fucking move on, man. You just cope with it, because it's pretty much telling somebody to move on. Might as well go tell a fucking Vietnam vet that watched their own fucking friends die. You don't forget. You don't. You just cope with it in a healthier way. You know? And the other thing, too, about this is, like, some people, man, put up with the weirdest shit in relationships. It is just absolutely fucking insane to me. Like, the amount of disrespect I see women and men give, or I've heard women and men give, it is absolutely insane. Abso-fucking-lutely insane. Like, you know, implying that you're an alcoholic, you know, pissing off your partner. Rightfully, they're upset with you, and then you cry and play victim. Fuck out of here, man. If that ever happened to me, if I had met a woman that was like that, she'd be out the fucking door, man. I mean, that constantly did this. Not just one time, but consistently. And also depending on what it is. Because the funniest thing is, a few months ago, back in July, there was a fight I overheard where apparently the woman was going to go be in the presence of a guy that molested her. Oh, I just don't understand why my boyfriend's so mad at me. I'm gonna go hang out with somebody who molested me. The fucking self-respect in that person, dude, was just out the fucking window. Like, how in the fuck can you tolerate somebody who has that much respect for themselves? They're willing to excuse putting themselves in a position in front of somebody that fucking did something wicked to them as a fucking child. And then of course, if they're that immature, they bring in a third party. Oh, I'm gonna get my family involved. And it's like, dude, you don't deserve that. That was the most cringe fucking fight I've ever heard. Or argument. Not fight, but argument. Ridiculous, bro. Like, fucking seriously. How in the fuck can anyone tolerate that? And again, I'm speaking from personal experiences. Every experience is different. People witness weird shit I probably don't even know about. It's fucking stupid. Like, why do people tolerate such shit behavior from their partners when they don't deserve it? I just don't get it. I mean, if the dude's violent, okay, I can understand. That's scary shit. Okay, but you should be, in a way, working on a way to get the fuck out of that situation. And the other crazy part about, abusive relationships, whether that be friendships, you become just as shitty as them if you're dumb enough to stay around long enough. And I'm referring to the verbal stuff, not the physical shit. Sometimes that just happens out of the blue. And it's unacceptable either way. But I mean, and especially, dude, one of the fucking craziest parts about this is that some people are aware that, oh yeah, my friend is really shitty, but I'm going to still hang around them. I don't have a foundational friendship. All of my friendships and all of our conversations are done on fucking PlayStation or Xbox. It's not a foundational friendship, dude. In the next 10 years, I guarantee you won't be hanging around them. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. And, the same thing with partners. Like, it's kind of the same thing in a sense, It's fucking retarded. And I just, I like people. I'm not sitting here saying people suck and these people are dumb. Some people, I will give them benefit of the doubt and say, yeah, sometimes some people are very manipulative and they're smart with it. But I mean, if you're, aware of their shit-ass behavior, why are you still around? Because at this point, for a guy, you're a fucking simp. And for a woman, you're a simp too. Because if you could get out of it and their behavior is going to lead to abuse or it's verbal and they treat your friends like fucking shit, they can get the fuck out, dude. They don't deserve your time. It's absolutely insane. And of course, they make excuses. That's just who they are. It's like, get the fuck out of here, bro. That does not excuse shitty behavior. It's fucking cringe, man. I swear to fucking God. So, I mean, without further ado, I have another thing I do want to talk about, so let's get to that. Good fucking Lord. Okay? I am so tired of hearing people say shit under the effect of, you shouldn't listen to your single friend's advice. Oh, you shouldn't because they're single. What kind of advice do they have? And, I will be fair and say maybe to some extent if they've never had a girlfriend before, then, yeah, I don't know why you'd be listening to somebody who doesn't have experience. But if they use their brain, I don't see the problem with listening to your single friends. But one of the dumbest things I heard a few days ago, actually, was apparently married people are the pinnacle of relationships. Oh, they're married. Oh, they're the pinnacle guru of relationships. You should listen to them because they're fucking married. And it's like, dude, no, they're not. It doesn't matter if you're in a relationship, if you're fucking married. It doesn't fucking matter. Be 100% real. Some people are just not qualified as much as the single people to give advice. The cringiest part about this is that somebody was called clingy, right? And fucking dude, they didn't even listen to the other side, the other person's story. They're like, oh no, that's clingy, man. I am the relationship expert. Strained my throat doing that. But yeah, and they didn't listen to him. So, no, you're no expert. I mean, you're not even an expert in listening to people. I mean, clear as day. And, you know, people, you know, tickle their balls and they're like, oh, you know, this person's really good at relationships. They're married or they've been together for a long time, even though they're immature as fuck. And it's like, dude, stop with that shit. It doesn't fucking matter if you're married, dude, or in a relationship. Like, some of those people, dude, give you the worst advice ever. They'll even normalize crap-ass fucking behavior. You know, on top of this whole thing about the clingy thing, the dude got the definition wrong. Because we ended up looking it up, and it's like, dude, that's fucking bullshit. Like, don't be coming at us saying, or coming at the person saying, or anybody, like, if this happens to you, this person is definitely, bro, not worthy of listening to. Because they didn't listen to you. You know? It's really funny to me that, you know, some people will be like, oh my God, this person's married, so you need to listen to them. And it's like, no, man, it doesn't fucking matter. They're probably in a shitty relationship, considering the fact they got a definition wrong, so they probably normalize that behavior, and they're exactly that thing. It's fucking projection 101. You know? It's ridiculous. And if they didn't listen to you, man, and you're trying to tell them, and you're trying to be the type of guy that, you know, gets into a relationship on his own and talks to a woman on his own or a man on your own, I really think that married couples don't fucking mean anything. Like, I would honestly just live life, learn from your mistakes. But again, I'm not here to give advice, dude. Take it as you will. Take it as you fucking will. I just am spouting my mouth because I think this shit's ridiculous. And I personally do not understand the concept of, oh, well, they're married and or in a relationship, so they are definitely worthy of giving advice. They're the experts. No, they're fucking not. They have a huge inflated sense of ego or sense of self, and they think they are an expert, and they're fucking not. You know? And also, I think the worst, this one's worse. The worst type of motherfucker to take relationship advice from is a motherfucker who cannot get a girlfriend on their own. They have to have their wingmen there. I'm sorry, if you're like me and you could talk to a woman on your fucking own, guys that can't do that, or women, guarantee there are girls out there that need their wing women. And am I saying that's bad? No. But don't be getting a big head about it. You know? Because in my situation, some of the people I know have a fucking huge head. They're like, oh man, I am such a cool guy. I had my friends help me get laid. And it's like, dude, that's pathetic. Like, no one would be going for you for advice if they learned that. If they did. You know? It's fucking ridiculous. You know, I just think they're bad at worse at giving advice, especially, again, as I just said, you know, you're trying to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend on your own, because they don't have any advice to give you, because they'll end up bringing in a third fucking party, and they'll be like, oh, dude, I need to call somebody else. And I need to get them involved because I don't know what else to say because I don't have my own method. And honestly, let's say you did tell them your method and they insult it, and then they're like, oh, that won't work. That never will work. It's like, dude, you're giving shitty advice. Like, you don't even have a method yourself. You had to bring in a third fucking party if that ever happens. And I guarantee I'm not the only one that's had that happen to. You know? It's fucking horse shit. So, in other words, to wrap this entire video up, I am not saying that, you know, married couples cannot give advice. I am not saying that. I am specifically saying some couples don't. If you know that they're not in a healthy relationship and the relationship is so immature, they might as well be teenagers, then yeah, I don't think you should listen to a word that comes out of their fucking mouth. You know? And also that goes for single people too. Like, if you're just using emotions and using projections to give advice, then I wouldn't listen to those people either. You know, it's fucking ridiculous. You know, and I definitely wouldn't be listening to guys or gals that can't get a boyfriend or girlfriend on their fucking own. Whatever gender you prefer. You know, that's fucking sad. Like, I don't know. Like, if you're like me, like I said, those people won't help you. Because they're too much of a fucking pussy to talk to pussy. If that makes any sense. And I do apologize to you women. I just wanted to make that joke, I guess. But yeah, that's all there is to it. I mean, it's not that complicated to talk to women anyways. You just have a fucking conversation. You listen to what they say. There you go. I mean, actually be fucking respectful. It's not that difficult. Anywho, that's me, Sacred G. You know, I just don't understand why people settle for bullshit. Like, I mean, literal bullshit. Like, being mistreated, and they're like, oh, that's just how they are. And it's like, no, dude, that's not. Like, you're just pandering their behavior. You're like, oh, that's fine. That's fine. And it's even worse when they fucking know about it, and then they still stay with the motherfucking person. You know what's even worse? I didn't mention in the first half of this video that I'm going to include here, so I don't have to include it later, is literally the motherfucking person who goes and bitches about their partner or their friend, but they don't do a goddamn thing about it. They don't cut them off. They don't break up with them. They just allow it to happen. It's fucking horseshit, dude. The same thing with the whole advice thing. You don't, honestly, in my opinion, the best advice is what you learn. I'm being objective. Like, I mean, sometimes, you know, advice will not apply to you. Like, at all. A lot of the times people just give you advice straight from their ass because it's like, that's what worked for me. And it's like, you're not thinking objectively. Like, that doesn't mean it's going to work for the other person. And it's kind of hard for me to even think of objective advice. You know? It is possible, for sure. I just, you know, I try not to give people advice. You got to live life. And if they ask me, you know, if my brother or something asks me for advice, I just, you know, say, hey, look, I would recommend you do this. And, you know, you got to live and learn. I don't know what else to say. You know? Anywho, that's me, Sacred G. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace the fuck out and goodbye.